Hello everyone and welcome back to some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, where today we're going to be taking another look at some glitches. Today we're going to be taking a look at some collision problems inside of the new stage builder. And to do so, I'm going to be showing off a few of my stages, which are pixel art, just with a little bit of other things added to them. And these will show a few ways that collision just doesn't work in this game. First up, we'll choose Kirby. Now, what Kirby's stage was supposed to be was he was supposed to have a wind box, but it didn't really work out, so I just decided to make him rotate. And this doesn't really work very well because, well, here's the thing. If Kirby gets too close to one of these little pockets while underneath the stage, he can actually clip inside of the stage. And obviously this isn't meant to happen. And what's weird is your moves still work like normal in here. Although it is kind of difficult to do, even the CPU can actually get in. And obviously this messes with their programming, because they're not supposed to be stuck in a object. It's pretty difficult to get in sometimes. Sometimes it's easier than others. The easiest way is to get into a pocket and then just repeatedly jump, which I kind of think it's interesting that Nintendo would miss out on such a big glitch, because it's really not extremely hard to pull off. Then again, this is Stage Builder, so they had to account for a lot of things, and I guess rotation just wasn't one of them. Now you're probably thinking, is this the only thing that it does? If a thing is rotating around its center, it'll just let you inside of it? Well, no. Let's get to the next level after I show you a little bit more of what Kirby is like. Now, something interesting to note about this stage is I can still interact with these other things inside of him, like his cheeks and his eyes. I can still stand on them, grab onto them like ledges, as well as be able to walk on them, which is kind of interesting. And it just makes it even easier to clip inside of them now that I'm inside of the pink yarn. One of the hardest parts is actually getting out, because, well, the edges are just actually a block thick, so it's pretty difficult to get out normally, although it's obviously possible. Now, in that stage, you had Kirby basically spinning around his center. Is that the only thing that it can do? Well, no. Next, we're going to be taking a look at the pixel art Yoshi stage that I made, where I actually, instead of having Yoshi rotate, I have an egg rotating around him. Now, this is different as well because there's also lava on the egg. Now what happens here is, because of the stun timer, when you get hit by the lava, it actually will freeze you in place, and the egg actually catches up to you, I believe. This allows you to essentially get stuck inside of the egg, and then you'll get caught, and then you'll actually have to escape. But something interesting about this is, when you're actually in the egg, you actually are being brought along by walls that are pushing you. You are still sort of walking along the stage as if it's a stage and you're not stuck inside of it. It's a weird way to describe it. But the ground, like the bouncy rubber that's still inside of the egg, you can still stand on. So you are still sort of playing on a normal stage, although you can't really jump or move around that easily. I would say though that the egg is a little bit harder to clip inside than Kirby, just because you have to line it up just right, and the lava has a pretty high chance of spiking you. But after I go ahead and get back inside of the egg again, I can go ahead and show it off one more time, and then we'll move on to another way that this can be performed. It does take a few tries though. I ended up getting spiked here, so I had to give it another go. And something weird also about this is, if you're inside of the egg, it's pretty difficult for you to get killed by going off screen, off the bottom, because as you saw there, I just got saved by being inside of the egg, which I find is kind of interesting. But now we're going to move on to Pikachu's stage. Now, in both of these stages, you had full rotates. And now a question is, can you clip inside of something even with a smaller rotate? And the answer is yes, which I'll be demonstrating with my Pikachu stage. Now, my Pikachu stage has thunderbolts with lava on them raining from the sky, as well as this Pikachu, or pixelated Pikachu, sort of walking across the screen. And he is rotating a little bit, but not a whole lot, back and forth. As well as moving from left to right and then back right to left. So now he's going back from left to right. And now that I'm in this little crevice, sort of like where I was with Kirby, I'm able to clip inside. Now, because of how small Pikachu's sort of model is, or sprite is, and how complicated it was, it's a little bit harder to actually move around in it. But with a little bit of maneuvering, we're able to clip out of it. Now, it actually is quite easy to, if you jump at the wrong time, the game will push you right through and push you up to this higher ledge. Now, something I'm trying to do here is just go ahead and clip into the left section where Pikachu's face is, because that's a bigger section. But something else that I should bring up is, now I've been able to stand on these platforms that are inside of this model, but for some of these sprites, such as the ones that actually have to go around other sprites, while they might look like they're just one patch of color, there's actually two in order to sort of fold around the other sprites. And I'm actually able to stand on these even if they're overlapping with one I'm already on. This is the case for the face, as it has to go around the eye and the cheek of Pikachu. Meaning there's actually two colors where I'm standing on, making it incredibly difficult in order to go down. Because of the overlap, it sort of creates a double barrier, where even with the help of being able to sort of have easier clipping because we're inside of a wall, it still becomes pretty difficult. I mean, even now it's pretty difficult to even clip out. But we're able to do it. And those were some ways that you could just clip directly into models in Super Smash Bros. It's pretty crazy how the developers missed out on this stuff. But anyways, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.